I can wait a little longer, that's alright. I can wait a little longer, that's alright. 2 weeks since she went away.
Today, I decided to do for you guys a fall beauty try-on haul because there are so many new awesome pieces that have just come out for the fall. Like, fall beauty is just beautiful, the colors, and just everybody just seems to really up their game in the fall. So I'm trying out tons of new products and creating the look that I have on. So if you want to know all my beauty loves for the fall, keep watching. First, I gotta talk to you about something. So everybody's been searching for the Fountain of Youth. I found it, and it's $95 now. The CO2 Facial Lift. I was like, ain't no way this jelly mask is gonna be like transformative. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. This is a disclaimer, and I feel like I always have to say this because a lot of people are sponsored by a lot of things. I'm not sponsored by this company. I am just the ultimate fan of this product because it is literally a miracle. Literally. There's this thing called carboxytherapy. It's like needles, and it causes your skin to produce oxygen. It's like extensive, and like I don't want a needle up in my face. This mask, these two little packets, you mix them together in like whatever kind of bowl you got at your house. You put it on your face for an hour, and when carbon dioxide is introduced to the skin is forced to produce massive amounts of oxygen. Oxygen then causes the skin cells to like turn over, and something happens that's a total miracle. This product is a game changer. If you are a bride, if you are any age, this will hydrate your skin in the craziest ways. It will puff your skin out to where your fine lines and wrinkles will be so much less visible, and the hydration just makes your skin so luminous. It's gonna last you about 7 to 10 days, and then your skin will go back to baseline. But you have to try this product. This is the #1 thing for beauty that I'm dying over, and I just have to tell you about it. Okay. I've already primed my skin and washed it and everything, so I'm good to go. And I'm gonna try these new Tarte clay sticks as my base. So I love Tarte foundations. I really am a fan of a full coverage base, and these are very full coverage. So I'm gonna kind of mix the medium neutral and the medium beige. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of like roughly color it onto my face. And then I'm gonna use the brush. It looks like I don't know what I'm doing, but I do. So this is also a new Tarte brush, and I've used these Tarte brushes before, and I just love them. It's like a foundation brush. So now I'll buff that into my skin.
Do what you do, what you do, why don't you do what you do, what you do, what you do.
If you are a person that has larger pores or a lot of fine lines, the thicker and cakier the foundation is, which is typically the consistency when it's in these stick forms, may not be your best bet. So that's just a little disclaimer for you. I'm trying out, L'Oreal sent me like their whole face line. And I had always heard that L'Oreal had decent concealers. And I've been using these concealers, and they're really good. This is the Infallible Pro Glow, the shade Medium Creamy Natural. Blend that in with a brush, because I want it to stay kind of thick. Now, this is going to have a luminosity to it. So if you don't like that luminosity in your concealer, then definitely this is not going to be a concealer for you. But I kind of like it. Like, it just gives it a little bit of a different look. I'm adding just a tiny, tiny bit of my Shape Tape just right under the eyes. Looking great. Then to kind of offset a little bit of that sheen, I'm just going to set my under eyes with just any kind of setting powder, white setting powder. I'm using Mercier, the Under Eye Secret Brightening Powder. That's going to like dull out that shine if you don't like that shine, because it really is a good product, and for the price, it's definitely worth trying out. Next, I'm going to move on to the bronzer. This is a new Tarte palette that I just got, and it's called the Face Shaping Palette, and it's called Clay Play. So I really love all of their like Amazonian clay stuff, so I'm going to try this out. I'm using right now these little Tarte brushes. So I love Tarte's cruelty-free and organic and no testing on animals and stuff like that too, which makes a lot of people really love what this company does. So I'm using this, this looks like, kind of like a bronzer brush. It's a little bit more like dense than the brushes I usually use. But I'm just going to go in with this shade Desert. It's this middle shade. And when you use bronzer, just barely tap it and buff it in that skin. Lovely. Now I'm going to turn the lighting down just a tiny bit so you guys can really see the contour. Another one of these Tarte palettes is just awesome. So they just came out with this like They have a blush book, and then they have this like blush round palette that I just love. So it's all of the blushes, and it's like $120 value, and this whole thing is like $40 or something. So it's a super great price, and it's really great to have all your blushes in one. And I really like this round because I break blushes when I travel a lot, and I've never broken a blush in one of these little rounders. So this is Endless and Authentic. They're really pretty like mauve-y shades for fall, and I'm kind of doing like a fall look. So I'm just gonna barely tap it in that, barely tap it in that. These Tarte brushes are a lot more like dense than the brushes that I typically use. So as you see, like sometimes I'll use a little bit of a different technique to like dab it onto my skin because they don't like brush on as well. Now I'm gonna go in, and I love the new Too Faced I Want Candy stuff. It came in this lollipop. I mean, it's Candy Johnson. She's a YouTuber, and she did this collab with me, and it's just fantastic. And it all smells like candy, which is just blissful. So this is something that's from her line, and it's called Banana Pudding I Want Candy. It's like a brightening powder. So I'm now just going to go in, and I'm just going to kind of dust this brightening powder in my light spots just to kind of like set what's going on right now, you know? Okay, next I'm going to go in and I'm going to do a little highlight. So this is another really cool new thing that's come out for fall. These are the Blush and Glow Blush and Highlighters. And it's got a highlighter in it and a blush. And they have two different colors. So this is the lighter shade. This is the Peachy Glow. And I'm just going to highlight up just a bit. Now, this is one of my favorite new things for fall because I love an eyelid base. I think that your shadows can be totally transformed by having a good eye base. And I've always, forever and ever, amen, used the MAC Painterly, or the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. And Tarte came out with a new one, and I'm loving this one. So this is Lid Lock. It's called Buff is the shade, and it's an eye base. I like this a lot better, actually, than the MAC Paint Pot because it's a lot creamier. The consistency is so much better. I'm going to do my shadow look today with the I Love Candy, or I Want Candy Too Faced, the eyeshadow palette, because this is the best palette. I love the packaging. Like, how cool is this? It's in like a little candy box, so it's just precious. So they have so many great colors, and it literally smells like a candy shop, and you can do so many different looks with this. I also love it when a palette gives you large size bases because these are the colors that I use the most of. These ones on the bottom here. I'm going to cover my lid with Banana Cream Pie. You see, it's just kind of like a bone shade. I always use this as a base for my shadow. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to go with my 224. The Tarte brushes are a little bit dense to do blending. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to start building cream puff and pastry. Doesn't that sound like a little nice thing to build? And I'm just going to buff out that large crease. I'll speed this part up, but you know the drill. Okay, so I've got that blended out into my large crease. And then I'm going to go in, and this just depends on how like dark you want your eye that day, but you can go in and pick like any shade that you want. But I love the Raspberry Cocoa. I love that mauve shade for fall. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to build a tiny bit of that with this small Tarte brush. It's just a little smaller than my 224 into my smaller crease. These purples really make like blue and green eyes pop, and they're just gorgeous for the fall. Okay, and then sometimes I'll just take my 224 brush with nothing on it and just blend it all out. Just make sure that's really, really blended, especially these Tarte colors. They're really pigmented, and blending is key for these looks. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with a tiny bit of this hot chocolate. So hot chocolate is kind of it's definitely a rich brown, but it almost has the tiniest little hint of like a purpley mauve in it. And I'm literally just adding that, like dabbing it into my small crease. I'm going to use this new, it's called Sex Kitten. It's Tarte. So I've been kind of trying to break into, in some of my looks, using these pencils because these pencils are really, really user-friendly. So if you're a person that's just starting out using makeup, or if you're like, ugh, because eyeliner is scary because it's like black and it's on your eyes. So I think this is a little bit easier to use than like a liquid liner. I just barely like dab it onto the lower lash line. I don't typically like do a lower lash liner because it tends to close my eyes up. So I like doing a heavy top winged liner. I just think that looks real nice. Okay, so now my liner is on, and I'm going to use, this is the only thing that I'm going to use that's old. I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz to fill my eyebrows in really quickly. I've been getting my brows dyed, so it's really easy to fill them in. I'm going to just line my waterline real quick with this Charlotte Tilbury cheat. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to use this mascara. So this is the new Gifted Amazonian Clay Smart Mascara. I don't know what it makes it smart and why it's important that it's gluten-free, but it is. So it comes in this really cool, like bamboo looking cool packaging. And I'm just gonna dust this right onto my lashes. This is really like a great consistency for the kind of mascara that I like. I don't think I've used this on my channel, and this is my ultimate favorite lipstick. My ultimate favorite of any lipstick consistency, of any lipstick color. It has been for years, and I especially love it in the fall. So it's Bobbi Brown. It's just the one in the black tube. It's just like lip color, it says, and it's orange is the color. It's number 7, and I adore this shade for the fall. I don't use a liner. I don't use anything else. I just put it straight on my lips. Look at that color. That's the best fall color. Thanks so much for watching, and come back again really soon. All the products will be linked below, so check them out if you want to know where I got any of these things. And thanks again for watching. See you soon.
Well, I can wait a little longer, that's alright. I can wait a little longer, that's alright. 2 weeks since she went away, but she's coming back today. She'll be here with me tomorrow night, and that's alright.
That's alright.
It was gonna be a little later, that's all.